this is kind of a mad story, right? So like anyone, I get loads of spam or junk on Instagram, and most of those messages, they invite you to click on some link that will take you off God knows where. So you just ignore them. But I was getting these messages from a woman, and I'm conscious of little ears listening, right? So don't worry, this is going to be a clean story. But the messages were of an adult nature. I'll say no more than that. Now, they were going into this restricted folder, right? And I assumed they were being sent by some bot to, millions of people at once. So I was just ignoring them. But every now and then I'd go into that restricted folder because some genuine people trying to get in touch who you don't follow, they would end up in there. So you'd have to find them in there and find out what they were trying to tell you. And I noticed when I was in there that some of her messages were actually referencing things I had said on the show, or things that were happening in Ireland, or the weather, how cold or warm or wet it was. So it couldn't be a bot sending messages, the same messages to millions of people. This was a person listening to The Hard Shoulder and then sending me, explicit photos and videos of themselves on foot of things I was talking about right here on the show. And then last week, it escalated. So they sent me a DM on Instagram to say they'd contacted me on Facebook Messenger. So I went into Facebook Messenger. I had to download it first, actually. I didn't even have it anymore. I downloaded the app, went into Facebook Messenger, and there it was, the message. Now, I could, of course, because it was Facebook and not a restricted Instagram account, I could click on her profile, her Facebook profile. I could find out more about this person. Tara Doyle is her name. But then when you click on her profile picture, there's just nothing. There's nothing in her profile. It was set up in 2014. A banner picture was selected, and that's the only update on her profile. Nothing else, except that her face is in her picture. So I was able to take a screen grab, crop it down to just her face, and then do a Google image search of her face. I really felt like kind of Poirot at this stage. I was so proud of myself. Anyway, it turns out that the person in that profile photo was the same person who was in all those photos and videos I was being sent, is actually an Australian adult star, Ella something or other. She was thrown off a United Airlines flight for mounting a protest about how George Floyd was treated by the police in the States. That seems to be her claim to fame. There was a Daily Mail story about her. But she has hundreds of thousands of followers. So she is not listening to an Irish radio show and sending messages and pictures of herself to an Irish radio presenter, which means that somebody out there, somebody probably listening to this actually, as I speak, set up an Instagram account and a fake Facebook account, and then this has gone on about 2 years, has spent the last 2 years sending me God knows how many explicit photos and videos of an Aussie adult star pretending it was of them. Why they did it, I don't know. People suggest it's like a catfishing exercise or an attempt at blackmail. Maybe they hoped I would send back a similar picture and then that they would be able to extort money out of me. I couldn't get it to send for some reason. Anyway, I didn't try. Let me clarify that. I didn't try.